Hey guys, what's up? Scottish Duck here once again. Okay, so in a few months we're gonna get that Mega Drive, classic Mega Drive. I don't know what the fuck it's actually called. It's a bunch of Mega Drive games on the disc. It's gonna be coming to PS4, Xbox, and not Switch, funnily enough, which is very weird. I'll be surprised if they don't put that onto Switch. And yeah, if you're interested in the Mega Drive at all, it's gonna be pretty good. Okay. I am gonna pick it up, you know, like I own pretty much every game on there, like on the Mega Drive, and obviously I own the, do I have it on hand? The PlayStation, here it is. You know, you got like the PlayStation 3 version here of the Mega Drive Ultimate Collection. I think in America they actually had Sonic's Genesis Collection, or something like that. I've seen the list, and there are going to be more games on this one than there are this one. In fact, it's actually going to be like a complete port of the collection that's currently on Steam, which I love, by the way, because they kind of went like the whole mile where you're in like a room from the 90s and stuff, and a kid's got like all his Mega Drive games and Sonic posters and bed sheets and all that. It's a really nice package, and yeah, it'll be cool to have it on console, honestly. But it kind of got me thinking. It's like, how cool would it be if there was like a Sega Saturn collection? Okay, that was a horrible segue, guys. I'm actually just looking for another reason to gush about the Saturn. Okay, I know I've done this like twice already on this channel, but I keep falling more and more in love with this console. Okay, and I just want to hold games up in front of the camera and talk about them again, repeat myself again that I've already talked about hundreds of times, and I just want it, right? I just want it. You know what really spurred me into like wanting to do this? I think I'm now at the point where the Saturn is actually above the N64 for me. For those of you who don't know, I always held I thought the N64 was the best console of that generation. At least it was the most important to me. But now, the more I'm playing the Saturn and I'm just not slowing down, I feel like it's just, I have to let it go up there, you know, to surpass it. It's amazing. I'm really enjoying it. So, yeah. Let's just gush about the Saturn, but also disguise it in the sense that these are the games that I think should be on the collection. Now, first I'm going to go for a sort of like, sort of definite pile. In fact, that shouldn't be on the, definite pile. That should be on the maybe pile. So yeah, I have a maybe pile and a definite pile. Yeah, these are just the games, the quality games that is, that Sega are totally 100% own. As far as I'm aware, you know, I'm sure folk can like correct me on this, and these are the ones where I'm not 100% sure that they do own it. I think in every case here they at least published it, but that doesn't really like mean much. So either way, these are some quality games that I think really should be on a collection, should it ever happen. So with that said, let's start with the definite pile, and let's get the entirely fucking obvious out of the way. Yeah, Nights into Dreams is the de facto game for the Saturn that Sega was working on, and if I just pull this out here, yeah. You might as well include Christmas Nights as well, you know, you already did include it on that HD collection of the game that you released on Steam, PS3 and Xbox. But yeah, this would just be... Oh, what's more to be fucking said, okay? You all know how much I fucking love. I'm obsessed with this game, okay? You put it in any game, I'd buy it, okay? So yeah, that's a pretty obvious one, isn't it? So yeah, Nights into Dreams. Chop fucking chop. Okay, so I got like a bunch of piles here, so let's dig in. Okay, here are just some like offshoots of games. They're not part of like any series or that, but I thought I'd get these out of the way first. Bug. I fucking hate this game, by the way. Not a fan. I remember popping in and being like, what is this? Like, the first level music is just so horrific. And there's a sequel as well, Bug 2, that's T-O-O. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is like a Sega-owned game. You know, it was very close to the launch of the Saturn, if I remember correctly. So they might as well stick this on if it was a collection, you know. Next there we got a Burning Rangers, another pretty obvious one, you know, a very like popular game for the console by Sonic Team. I remember last I spoke about this actually, I had said that it'd been a while since I played it and I wasn't actually sure what I made of it anymore. Well, I recently played through it again, and I'm happy to say, yeah, this is still one of my favourite games for the console, without a doubt. Really needs a sort of, like, second chance, you know, like, there's so much to this game. Just like Knights, you know, Knights did obviously have, like, a couple of chances thrown at it, but this one hasn't, and it really should, you know. Burning Rangers, that would be good game. Okay. Now, this one would definitely be like an interesting one to put on should a collection ever occur. Deep Fear, okay, only released in Japan and America, and as far as like Sega published games go, I believe this was the final one. At least in Europe, yeah, it's a survival horror game. Many people don't know, but the Saturn did actually get Resident Evil 1. We didn't get any of the other ones, but Sega did opt to make this their own little Resident Evil clone. And it's pretty damn good, you know? A lot of people obviously have not had the chance to play this because this particular version is stupid expensive, so yeah, I'm sure that would go down very well. Has worse voice acting than Resident Evil as well, by the way, so that's a thing, Right, Shinobi X, also known as Shinobi Legions in America. This one, I'm not too sure about this one. I could see there being little issues, because one thing I didn't mention there actually, this classic Mega Drive collection that's coming out is actually not going to feature Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles. That's going to hurt it quite a bit, I think. And it's something to do with the music licensing or something. Well, this game actually has like a different soundtrack depending on the region, just like Sonic CD, you know? Here in Europe it's different from America and stuff. And it has a different name obviously. So I don't know, I can see that different music between regions, I could see that being an issue somehow. Don't know how it would be, but you know, it's Shinobi, it's obviously 100% Sega franchise, so that'd be really cool to have. Yes, I'm just gonna end every game by saying that, by the way. I do apologise. And last on my sort of like oddball pile, I guess, I don't know. We have Virtual On. You know, again, this is one of the more popular games on the console, I find. I tried to get into it. I don't know if I dig it as much as like most people, but it still is quite fun. You know, I think I need someone to play with, quite frankly. Or maybe I need like the twin sticks, which the game features, well, is compatible with, I should say, which was only released in Japan and was probably expensive as hell, but whatever. Virtual On. Virtual On. Okay. Now, oh, actually, my bad. I've got another little sort of oddball game here. Definitely one of my big favourites, and just like Burning Rangers, one of the ones I'm most confused hasn't had a remaster as of yet, because it is a beautiful game. Style, okay? Just a completely wonderful 2D platformer on the Saturn. You know, just think, I keep calling it the Klonoa of the Saturn, and I'm gonna stick with that. Yeah, just even if there's no Saturn collection, re-release this, Sega. It's real good, it's real good. It's a style, man, it's a style. Right. Now I have some piles here that we're gonna gush about a bit. First of all, I got racing games here. Daytona USA, incredibly fucking obvious choice, as is Sega Rally Championship, even more obvious, quite frankly. Definitely the two like most popular games on the console by a long shot, quite frankly. But another one that I happen to own here, which probably would be alright as well, is Manx TT. Manx TT Superbike, yeah. You know the guys on the Isle of Man, they love the Sega Saturn. Do they? But yeah, this is like Sega Sports, so I reckon it wouldn't be too hard to get this one on there, should it happen. So yeah, racing games, these are probably the most high priority. I mean, not so much Manx, but definitely Sega Rally and Daytona. Okay, I'm just putting these games down anywhere. I have to make sure I get through all of these piles, actually. Okay. Now, definitely a very important, like, subset of games, I suppose you could call it, for the Saturn was its 3D fighting games. You know, AM2, they ported a lot of their, like, Model 2 arcade games to the Saturn with, like, and they made them really good. And I have 5 of them here that I'm going to talk about. First two is, Virtua Fighter 1 and 2. These are pretty much, these will be the first games that they'll think of when they're making a Sega Saturn collection. You can't get much more Sega Saturn than Virtua Fighter, you know, absolutely. So, I don't even know why I'm even holding out in front of the camera. It's just, it's gonna happen. It would be so obvious. But other Model 2 fighters include Fighting Vipers, kind of like Virtua Fighter, only you've got armor. It's cool. Fighters Megamix, a mixture of Fighting Vipers and Virtua Fighter, and a whole bunch of other like weird characters thrown in. Definitely a must-play for fighting game fans. And personal favourite of mine, I always leave this to the last whenever I talk about Saturn fighters, Last Bronx. Just a game nobody fucking played on the Saturn, which is a shame, because it's really good. It's really fucking good. Okay. And just some other like series is here that would be cool to have. Clockwork Knight, okay. An alright platformer, definitely no like a style, but it's pretty decent either way. You know, 1 and 2 there. Still need to get around to beating 2 myself actually. Next we have light gun games. We got Virtua Cop 1 and 2 and House of the Dead. Probably wouldn't work as well like on a, because obviously you can't get like light guns anywhere. They don't work on fucking HD tellies. And even if they did, you can't plug in your fucking Sega Saturn gun to your PS4, can you? You probably have to only use like aimer controls and stuff and move on with an analog stick or a D-pad. It would kind of suck, but I don't think that's a strong enough reason to exclude these fantastic games as well. I know House of the Dead doesn't run the best on the Saturn, but fuck it, it's a classic franchise. It would still be really cool to have them on there. I'm running out of places to put these games. Okay. Next is a very, very, very obvious series here. Panzer Dragoon, yeah. Panzer Dragoon 1 and 2, absolutely. Sega. I think Sega wants us to forget about this game, okay? And we're not going to. It's already gotten that reputation, you know, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is a series very near and dear to me. Like, again, just like Burning Rangers and a bunch of others, this is the one, even if a collection isn't really in the cards or nothing, it just needs to be, like, re-released in any capacity, you know? Panzer Dragoon Zwei, and Panzer Dragoon Saga, all phenomenal, okay? And Panzer Dragoon Orta, that's a good one too. Okay, next is a series that has become very near and dear to me. I can't decide if I like this more or Panzer Dragoon actually, but I played for all of them last year and I enjoyed them so much. Shining games. Okay, now we have Shining Force 1 and 2 for the Mega Drive. You got Shining Force 3 here, which is again just like those games of turn-based strategy. Then you have like Shining the Holy Ark. I played this not too long ago, right? It's a first-person shooter. First-person dungeon crawler RPG. And upon hearing that, I'm like, there's no way I'll like this. I'll pop this in, play it for like an hour, immediately get bored. I got all the way to the end. I put like 40 fucking hours into this. This game is good. This game is really, really, really good. And it's one of the cheaper games on the Saturn. If you're collecting for the Saturn, pick up this game. I fucking loved it. I really did. I actually can't decide which of these two I like more. That's how much I loved it, because I really like this game too. Some of you might be wondering, there's a game in this series for the Saturn that I'm missing. It's on the maybe pile. I'll get to that. Okay. And the last like series, I guess, that I want to talk about here is, yeah, pretty fucking obvious. It's Sonic, you know. Sonic R, that would absolutely happen. Sonic 3D, yeah, probably. I think Sega's more in favour of like re-releasing the Mega Drive version than this one, but yeah, it would probably happen. This one, not too sure, because I was just talking about how Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles aren't going to be on this Mega Drive collection because of the music. It's copyrighted or something. I don't know. It's weird, okay? That would probably be why we wouldn't get this in a Saturn collection, which is really unfortunate because other than just being like a cool compilation of the 4 Mega Drive Sonic games, it's also like a nice piece of history for Sonic, and obviously the 3D world that you can interact with in this game is also fun as fuck, you know? I'm sure a lot of people would love to play that, so, like, yeah, out of all of these, I'd probably just choose this one right then and there, so that probably would be the case, but either way, definitely Sonic. So, right, now, I have about 10 or so games here that are on, like, a sort of maybe pile. Now, these are games that, like I said, I don't think Sega has complete ownership of, but it probably wouldn't be too hard to get them on there. So, with that said, let's just get right into it. Okay, now actually, hold on, I'll show these two games together. Here it is. Okay. Now, on the Mega Drive collection, we are getting Gunstar Heroes, I think Dynamite Headdy, and Alien Soldier, which is an extremely rare game. And those are all made by Treasure. So, I'm guessing Sega and Treasure are alright. So in that case, we should get Radiant Silvergun and Guardian Heroes. This game I've really fallen in love with as well lately. You know, I never really sat down to properly play it, but I did just as of late, and I'm not really a shmup guy, I really am, but I kind of want to like try and get into them, and I thought might as well start here. This is one of the more popular ones for sure, and yeah, really enjoyed this. Was very surprised at how many hours I was putting into it and how much I was just playing it over and over again. And Guardian Heroes, never been too big a fan of this one. Like, I do enjoy playing it, but I don't know, I feel like every once in a while I'll pop it in and try and get very far, and I don't know, it's a weird personal thing with this one, but clearly, again, one of the more popular releases for the console, so I kind of take that away from it. But either way, yeah, these two Treasure games, you know, it'd be cool if they were included in such a collection. And I should have probably said at the very beginning, I don't want to include, like, I only want to include games that were released in, like, English, so to speak, unless they're particularly import-friendly, which Radiant Silvergun definitely is, but so is, like, these games right here. Puyo Puyo, you know. This game actually got, like, re-released on the 3DS, on the 3D Classics collection that Sega did. And Puyo Puyo Sun, I actually can't remember much about this one. I might not have even popped it in at all. I just picked this up randomly because it was really cheap. But it's Puyo Puyo. What the fuck do you expect? It's Puyo Puyo. So probably this one, but yeah, a version of Puyo Puyo, that would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah. And just to go through the rest of this pile here, Shining Wisdom. The thing that's got me wondering about this is that the English translation of this game was provided by Working Designs, who did a handful of games for the Sega Saturn, you know. In fact, the other game that they did, let me just grab it here. I really should have been more prepared, shouldn't I? Yeah, the other one that they did was this right here, Dragon Force. And yeah, I know that Dragon Force appeared on a Sega Ages collection in Japan. Now that right there tells me that Sega must own the game for them to be allowed to re-release it. You know, as they own, like, the fucking Shining series, so obviously they must own this, but I don't know. It just makes me wonder, Working Designs translated them, does that mean anything? I don't know. I don't know. If it doesn't, then definitely both of these for sure. I didn't like this one too much, Shining Wisdom, nowhere near as good as the other Shining games, that's for sure. And I've yet to play Dragon Force. It's quite notoriously hard to play, a steep learning curve if you will, but one day I will, one day. It's got a sequel in Japan as well, which is apparently fan-translated, so that would be cool to get into. Okay, let's see, I've got about 5 games left. Story of Thor 2. I've yet to play these games. This is Legend of Oasis in America. Sort of like Sega's own little Zelda rip-off. They have several, to be fair. But this is one of them. Apparently it was quite good. I'm going to get right to this one. I guess, speaking of Zelda-ish rip-offs, you got Dark Savior. Now, Landstalker, which was made by the same people as this, that's on the Mega Drive collection, so that makes me think that this would be okay too. But I thought I'd put it on the maybe pile just in case, pretty much. Same for the reason I put Story of Thor 2 on there, you know, like Sega didn't develop it, they published it, and Beyond Oasis again, the game that came before that, is on the Mega Drive collection, so I don't know. I'm just being safe, Steep Slope Sliders, made by Cave actually, who sadly are no longer with us. So I don't know how much ownership Sega has over this one, but it's a really good snowboarding game, so yeah, that'd be cool. I'm just fucking putting these games anywhere now. Okay, last two games, and they're two of my favourites. Die Hard Arcade. This one would almost certainly not end up on any re-released list, unless they were to strip out the Die Hard license and just rename it back to Dynamite Deca, or Dynamite Cop as it was called over here when the series made it to the Dreamcast. Can't be arsed explaining the series, why it's called Die Hard, look it up, but anyway, this is an extremely fun beat 'em up, and yeah, it's Die Hard, isn't it? I guess Disney owns it now, holy shit. And lastly, Enemy Zero. Yeah, this is again one of my big favourites. I've no idea how this would work because it was developed by Warp, who are no longer around, even though Sega published the game. I believe they published like D2 as well for the Dreamcast. So it could happen. I hope it would, because this is a wonderful game, this one. So yeah, that's a thing. Okay. Whew. Okay, I got that out of my system. I gushed a wee bit. I think I need to put an embargo on myself. Like, I can't talk about the Sega Saturn until for the rest of the year or something, you know, because I know I do talk about it a lot, and I'm not planning on stopping playing it at this moment, you know. Like I said, I've yet to play Story of Thor 2, I've yet to play Dragon Force, maybe sit through Clockwork Knight 2, maybe I'll even give Bug another try, who knows, but yeah, I love that console. Re-release some of the games, Sega. I'm looking forward to that Mega Drive collection, so yeah. That's that, guys. See you after. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.